Hello, students. In my last lecture, I discussed with you the substance of the essay boards. Today, continuing further, I am going to discuss the deep rooted kindness of human nature as an advantage for boards. Now, first of all, every one of us is a bore at some point of time in our life. Secondly, only a bore can write about a bore. Boards always find a patient audience. And the reason behind this is that the human nature is very kind. Most of us suffer silently as we are basically kind and don't possess the courage to say a no to a boring person. We can't show resentment to boring people because we don't want to hurt the feelings of the boards. Also, we show our large heartedness. Most of the times, we behave like dumb driven cattle. We can't oppose boards. The reason is that we have great kindness in us, and it is our biggest incurable weakness. And then, as an audience, we torture our emotions as well as sentiments. There are times when we pity bores because we feel that they don't realize their weaknesses. Here, our kindness is our biggest enemy. We should direct a boar to keep his mouth shut. The boars tell us often repeated funny stories that are not really exactly funny. We might keep on telling them that we have heard their stories so often, yet they don't really stop. A bore simply cannot avoid speaking about things with which he or she is connected. Also, our kindness towards them is our biggest enemy. According to Lucas, every one of us at some point of time in our life is basically a bore. Also, egotism is the basis of making a person a big bore. E.P. Lucas points out that a bore always wants to convince others. It is seen that a bore feels that he is the most sociable of all the men present on this earth. We must keep them at an arm's length. It is seen that most of the times we give bores a patient hearing, and that should be avoided at all costs. It is seen that we have great kindness inherent in our natures. We must leave our kindness and we must try to avoid bores. Also, we must avoid button holding bores because they are the most repellent specimens. They lean on us. And also, these bores tell us funny stories that are not at all funny for us. So, in order to avoid a boring person, we must make some very special efforts. First of all, we should try to avoid a bore. We must tell him or her to keep his mouth shut. If at all we don't have the power or the capacity or even the willingness to say a direct no to them, then we must try to avoid them. It is seen that these things or these remedies are not as easy to follow, but then every human being, in order to avoid a bore, must make some special efforts, and only then we can avoid a bore. The writer points out that the world is full of boring people. It's not that we can't be boring, it's that every one of us can be boring at some point of time. The reason is very simple, and the reason is that all of us have very limited ideas to impart. Also, the human nature is so kind. It means that all of us are so kind at some points of time in our life that we simply cannot avoid a boring person, however hard we may try. We may try to tell them that we don't want to listen to them, but the point is that beyond a time, we don't have the courage to stop them. We don't have the courage to tell them that we don't want to listen to them. Thank you very much.